Hey everybody, so we're back in the studio, and if you saw the last episode, Flippity Flop, episode 5, you'll know that we had a water leak here at the studio. So
it was up there, ran across here, came down all over.
So we got here, if you can hear us now, that is really a miracle from God, actually, because these recorders, these Zoom F2s, were drenched in water. When we opened the battery compartment, there was like water coming out of them. And what we did is we removed the batteries, we put them in the rice thing.
Not like submerged in the rice, but just sitting on rice with the top closed.
And I don't know, sometimes people get mixed results with that type of stuff. I actually even wrote the Zoom people and said, hey, is there anything else we can do before we attempt to turn this on? And they were like, oh, we don't know. Anyway, so, but it was a miracle that we turned them on and they seem to be working. So if you can hear us, at least that's good. We lost one of our USB hubs. That was dead.
But one of them survived.
One of them survived.
My guess is the one that lost was the one that when we picked it up, we dumped water out of all the holes.
There was water coming out of the holes. So I know in one episode I said it didn't look like actual holes. They're actual holes because there was a bunch of water in them.
Basically, we had everything up against the wall, which you saw, just to keep it out of the way, keep it neat. But then that whole back wall, the water came down.
The whole back wall, yeah. We just had a weird storm where there was raining sideways or something.
And this isn't an exterior wall. There's like another room on the other side of that.
But they seem to have fixed it.
Yeah.
It rained again over the weekend.
And it's dry.
And it's dry, so we're going to try again. But sorry, because we are reconstructing again. So even though we wanted to get to the point where we actually did some motion capture,
not
this
happening
is the
yet.
way it works. So, but thanks for hanging out with us, because it's fun talking with you guys, even though there's not that many of you out there right now. But it's a little bit more relaxing than just being here depressed about putting stuff back together.
And if the audio sounds weird and you're thinking, no, your microphones did not make it, it's because while we're putting things back together, we don't have on our lights. We have on the main overhead lights.
That's right. We haven't been able to plug in our stuff. Actually, that's another thing we haven't tested, which is the power things. We're also drenched in water. Okay, but let's do this, and while we are doing
Let's put these so that they're off, so that then we can start deciding where we want to put the
That's true.
tiles.
Okay, so you want to put those first, the bases?
I think so.
Okay. Should I move this back a bit maybe or something?
Well, that's why I thought we were going to put the base on the concrete and then
yes,
the tile.
on the concrete. So I'm thinking that we should take this thing and move it a bit.
Yeah.
So that we can try to put it there, right?
Yeah, so that thing, I don't know if you're blocked, is a coil of extension cord.
I don't know if you can see us. Everything is like in the way, and everything is under plastic because we weren't sure if it was going to be fixed or not. So,
and we knew it was going to keep raining.
While I'm moving this, I will try to give you an update on all of the various things that we're supposed to be getting. As you recall, we have a pre-order for Perception Neuron 3. And we were told, I don't know if this is secret or not, probably not, that we were the first order for Perception Neuron 3. So, hey, that's cool. And, you know, sadly, I know that when we placed the order for Perception Neuron 3, we had, should we move this?
Yep.
It was right in May, early May.
Yep.
And we were told that we were going to be receiving it at the end of May. So last week of May.
Yeah, turn it a whole 180.
And then after that, sadly, it got delayed until the first week of June. And then they said early June. And then they said June 19th. Oh yeah, but we want this close. Okay. So they were saying June 19th, or well, June 14th, I think it was. And then now I think what they're saying is June 28th. And a little bit of bad news we received. And hopefully this is public information, but the software that comes with it, it's only going to be able to record one character, one actor per computer.
To start with.
To start with. Now they told me that they're still working on the software, so they expect sometime in August, I think maybe they said mid-August, that they would have the feature so that it can have multiple actors. So I think the perception neuron guys are great. You know, the people involved, they are making motion capture affordable for us, and that's great. And they've been very open about and honest about, hey, we're running behind. And I think the reason is, which is justified right now, is that there's a shortage on all these parts. You know, it's really hard for anybody, even like video cards, any type of computer parts. They're just hard to get right now. So they're doing their best, and we are thankful that they're keeping us updated. And I'm glad that they told us we were the first ones to pre-order.
Because that's fun.
Because that's fun to hear. So anyway, that's the status though. We're still waiting on it. We're waiting on Manus. As you know, we had to return the software key because of a problem with the shipping, and so we did that as well. And if you watched Flippity Flop episode number 4, we were trying to get 2 characters using live face. I think it's face live or live face, I don't know.
Live face.
Live face. Trying to get 2 characters with the iPhones, with their helmets, into iClone 7. And we couldn't get it to work. There was a whole half hour that you could probably miss at the end of us trying to get that going. And so we wrote support. I wrote support. And, you know, support, I think, again, iClone is great software, but I have not received the best support. It's not that they haven't answered, it's that I haven't liked the answers in the past that I've received from them. So this time, though, however, we got a good answer because it is a confirmed bug. It's not something we didn't know how to do. They tried it. They tried to reproduce it, and I don't know if it's just the latest version or I think, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's 1.01. Well, no, it's later than that. But anyway, they said that they tried it, and they're trying to find a workaround. I check every day to see if there is some type of update, but nothing yet. So we're going to have issues with 2 characters with Perception Neuron 3 at the beginning. We're going to try to get 2 computers talking to Unreal Engine or to iClone. 2, we're having problems with 2 face captures using live face. I'm still haven't tried FaceWare fully. We tried a little bit the demo, but we haven't tried to see if we can do live with Unreal Engine. So then, so that's what's going on in our world with respect to motion capture. Now, I did try to do Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 5 pre-release or preview just came out. It's available for download. And Perception Neuron, again, these guys were really good in getting their plugin ready for people to beta test. So it's downloadable. You can check it out and try it, and we did. and it seems to be working. We were able to get 2 characters from the same computer streaming into Unreal Engine 5. Now, we still have to try 2 different computers. I think I have an idea how to do it, but we'll have to see. So I think Laurel's doing all the stuff by herself. And I don't know, what else can I tell you guys? So the Unreal Engine 5 stuff was actually pretty cool because here's one thing. In the past, now, you know we want to do VR filmmaking. That's part of what we're trying to do. Actually, that's the main thing we're trying to do. But if you go to Unreal Engine 4, to get it set up to do VR, and when I say VR, I mean Oculus Quest, because that's our primary target. And we also want to set up things like the motion, where you press the button and you jump from area to area. Our idea is that you're going to be able to watch a movie this way and just sort of wander around in the space in the set of the movie. So in order to do that in Unreal Engine 4, there was a big, huge list of steps that you had to do. It wasn't something that you could do out of, just new project and you choose one of the templates. The templates they had were built for Steam VR headsets, okay? The ones that are plugged in directly to the computer. So so here's my job, by the way, guys. I just step on the things so that they become flat. I'm using my weight here.
But not yet.
Oh, but not yet, sorry. I'm going to mess it up. But yeah, Unreal Engine 5, though, uses this technology called OpenXR, which they say, and I just read this from the description, that it can work with any headset. So I tried it this weekend. I went in there and I said I wanted to create a new VR project using their new template. And now let me tell you, my computer,
Step away.
Step away?
Yeah.
Oh, over here. Even though my computer, I thought I had a fairly fast computer. It turns out that it was really, really slow. It took about 45 minutes, I think, to build all the, for the shaders to compile and all that stuff. But after it all compiled, I was able to just plug in my Oculus Quest headset, hit run, and it worked. It was all set up, all the jumping around with the blue circle, all the picking up of objects, all that stuff was all figured out. So it was a really fun time, actually, this weekend working with Unreal Engine 5. Then what I did is I tried Perception Neuron with Access Neuron, I think is the name of the software for the PN32, and their plugin. Now, we had some pre-recorded files that we had done, Laurel and I. So that's what I used. How's it going? Is it?
Good. I'm wondering if we can move the stuff off that and bring that piece forward.
Oh, okay. So move, what do you want me to move? Move
Everything.
Move everything? Okay.
Everything from here over, get it off.
Get it off? Okay, got it. Now, what about this here? Like, should we tuck this in more or something? Or?
I don't think it can.
Oh, it can't because of this?
Because of the desk.
Oh, because of the desk. Okay, so we're okay? We're going to live with that like that, or?
I'm living with it like that.
I don't like that. And my OCD is saying that there's a little gap there.
You are welcome to mess with that.
So I'll try to fix it a little later. Anyway, so if you don't see us, it's because we're trying to move things off here so we can actually
get the flooring set up.
Get the flooring set up, and I got to make myself useful. So Unreal Engine 5. So we were doing Perception Neuron 32, and we had to use pre-recorded files because we haven't tested our Perception Neuron 32s. They were also under the water, and now most of it when we opened it was dry, but and a lot of things are in little bags. But the sensors themselves, the case, was drenched in water. So I don't think the actual sensors got wet because they didn't seem like they were wet.
So there's an outside case, and then in there, there's these porous bags that have all the straps in them. And then there's a little leatherish type box that's the anti-magnetic box that has a paper cover on it to keep the lid closed. And there's a bunch of non-porous plastic, like anti-static bags. So the stuff in the anti-static bags was dry. These straps were all wet. And the paper around the anti-magnetic box that had the neurons, the paper was soaked. So we carefully took the paper off and opened it, and the spongy thing that has all the little neurons in there was completely dry, and all the neurons were dry. So the only thing that seems like it could be an issue is that the straps have the, receivers that you plug the neurons into, but those dried off, and my thought is that since they dried off and didn't get used while they were wet, those should be fine.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. We will find out.
So
all
now
these
we want
things
to
I don't think are. I think those the water symbol is one of the first symbols they put with a big crossed out thing. Like,
yeah, with a please don't swim with these.
You're not supposed to go swimming with your perception neuron. Motion capture. So we have. Hey, I think we have to put. Before you do too much there, Levy. Can we put the? I got to put this here. You want to put this one over there in that corner? Because I'm afraid that it's not going to fit right. Oh. Well,
right, because I probably didn't push back the cloth far enough for it.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think you're right.
How do we put this in the corner? Should I lift that one or?
Well, as long as I would stand on the concrete and try and push.
Oh. Oh, I see. Like that. You mean? Yes. Oh yeah. It's.
Yeah, you're right. Because we were making. See, this kind of does that.
Yeah.
And we were thinking of having the deeper part be 13 inches, but we didn't think about the fact that the shallow part needs to fit one of these two.
Right. So what do we do?
Let's see how deep it is.
All right, so we have a bit of technical difficulties.
Well, and that's 10 inches. That should
do that?
Yeah, that should fit the top, not to mention the bottom.
So should I just put that in there and see?
Stick it where you want it and see.
Okay, let's see what happens.
So the problem isn't the foam. We might need to adjust the cloth.
The cloth, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit wrinkly.
Yeah.
So that was one of the side effects of getting wet. As you can see that it's very wrinkly and
you might have to put it behind instead of in the corner. Move it straight back.
Move it straight back?
Yeah.
Okay. Like this?
Yep.
Oh,
there. Yeah.
This is good.
Yep.
This is better. Now, should we turn it? I think I should turn it.
Yeah. Turn it 90 degrees so.
Yeah. Here, can you maybe? Yep, there we go. All right, so like that maybe?
Yep.
All right. Well, obviously that's aimed the wrong way.
Pretty sure we can rotate that.
But,
it's not attached.
we can fix that. All right.
Actually, from the look of them, we probably just swapped them.
I know you're kind of dislike what I'm saying, but this doesn't have that nice look that it used to have there. Because it's all right there.
Well, you're welcome to straighten it.
Yeah. So. Maybe it's not too bad. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Is that better?
I think that's better. And I think a lot of it's going to be covered by furniture.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I just do that. Anyway, as I am straightening this up.
We may need to do something to the top too, just to get rid of the arc that's happening.
So, but nothing's changed at the top, right? You don't think they moved our straightener?
No, they didn't move it, but it got wet and it dried and it probably, you know.
Yeah, and it's probably in the wrong stuff. Anyway, all right, well, let's...
It wasn't perfect to begin with, but...
Well, does it look a little better?
Sure.
But you're thinking that if we want to do a good job, we might have to straighten that up a bit, right? It's super wrinkly, but...
Yeah, the bottom was always wrinkly.
Yeah, you're right.
But the wall is more wrinkly than it was, and I don't know that we can fix that without getting the step ladder back here.
Okay.
Because this might need to, you know, come up.
To come up with.
Like,
All right.
Yeah, not down, but up.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to, since we don't have that right now, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to like sort of
Go the opposite way.
go the opposite way
Okay.
to see if we can at least get it to look a little bit flat. Anyway.
Okay.
Yep.
If we're going to put the posters up, we don't want to pin it into the wrong position, you know?
Okay.
Like
All
if
right.
we're going to put the posters up, then we want it to be kind of as close as possible to how we actually want it, so that...
Okay. I see. So we'll have to come back before we put the posters up. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
or just hold it in the right place when we put the posters up and fix the top later, you know? Because if we get the posters up like this, then we can
Okay.
just fix the top
And
later.
Fix the top later. All right. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
So, yeah, we're probably not going to get it all working today.
But
anyway.
we do have all the posters, and last time you only saw one.
Oh, yeah,
And-
but they're in the car.
Well, yeah, but
Okay.
we'll bring them in.
Right. So we did get all the posters in, so we should be able, in
Just
fact,
stand over there.
that's the sad part, that we were about to put up the posters when we came last time.
We were like so close to feeling like we were done with the
Um,
studio, and it was on to actually, you know,
Yeah, that
doing stuff.
So, anyway, but I did get a lot of stuff done with Unreal Engine 5. What else can I tell you? The VR template is pretty cool, and it's really useful for us. We got the perception neuron with, you know, the plugin tested. We're still waiting to hear from Manus as to the status of our gloves. So that we knew that's going to take a while. So we weren't expecting that until the end of the month. And you know, our studio seems to have shrunk a bit. The water shrunk it.
Can you push there in, please?
Because what happened? Did we just move it a lot over there?
Yeah, you wanted to. So
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
true. That's true. I did want it to move it a lot over
Yep,
there.
now push here.
Okay. Because now I'm like seeing all this empty space over here.
You wanted to be able to fit the lights on the outside of the flooring.
I did. She's right about that. And you know why? Because our space is up to here. And our lights, I kind of wanted them to be set up and never moved if we could do it. So, so we're going to see what we can do.
Because right now, whenever we put the lights up, we put them into the walkway.
The walkway, and then...
Which is fine
Yeah.
during COVID when no one else is here when we're here, but not so great once...
Actually, this place, and I can't say the name of it because I feel like, you know, I don't want... Anyway.
I mean,
well,
it's a great place.
Oh, yeah, it's a great place. I just, like, for security reasons, I don't like to say, like, you know, locations and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, so that's the only reason. It's not, but they were actually awesome about once, you know, the pandemic hit, organizing it so people could still use the studio. And we just had this cool schedule where we would, like, you know, everybody would
Come one
put
at a
when
time.
they would come. And I think we had a rule of maximum 2 people at a time in the studio, depending where they were and stuff like that, and everybody wearing masks. And honestly, most people just waited till they were by themselves. So
Yeah.
we've been, it's sort of a mixed lesson because yes, we like being able to film by ourselves, but it's also kind of sad not seeing people, because part of why we like being in this community is because there's a lot of artists around. So
We get to see their work, and
you get to see
it's
them
pretty.
working on their craft, and that's pretty cool.
Do you want to move the projector over?
Yep.
To the
Oh, yeah, sure. So we can actually put this back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which way is it? Is that the part that goes that way?
Yes, that's
Yeah, I think so.
the words would face you as you're. Yep.
All right. We'll have to figure out exactly where this is.
Oh, right.
What?
Well, we had spent a lot of time getting it in exactly the
Yeah,
right
we
spot before.
did. We did. If you guys, if you saw how much I'm like caring about that, this projector was like, you know, I gotta get it exact. But that's part of the problem that I, as I've said in other episodes, my day job is being a programmer, and it's a user interface programmer. And what I do is move pixels around a lot. So many pixels from the left, so many pixels from the right, until it looks quite right. So
That's harder to do in real life. Pixels don't move.
I have that OCD. I have to make sure everything's sort of lined up and stuff, which is kind of a problem with motion capture sometimes, because you're like, uh-oh, this doesn't seem to fit here anymore.
Yeah, it does. It just doesn't fit with that, so you have to.
Oh, well, this is a casualty of the...
Oh my goodness, would you? You're not allowed to put stuff together.
I give up on the puzzle. Like, I just had to do one piece. Huh?
Very good. All right.
Look at that.
Now we need to move
We need to move that.
this, the hard part of which is.
Oh,
that.
right. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, that one needs to be tightened.
Well, should we put them back where they got wet last time?
Well, you could put them.
Oh, yeah, I'll put them over here for now. Okay, good idea. All right. The helmets, which, we like the helmets. Last time, I don't know if we got close enough to the camera to show these things. So what we didn't show was the fact that this part was part of what comes with the helmet.
Right.
So you get the helmet, the weights, and this. And along with this bar.
But not this little
Not
thing.
the little adapter for the phone. Because this is built, now you do get this 1/4-inch screw, which is used for, like, if you want to mount your camera, because this thing is built for DSLRs to sort of have close to your face for a POV shot. So what Laurel did was she found these, I don't know what you call them, lid?
I think it was called friction lid hinges.
Friction lid hinges, so that we could extend this forward, so that we could basically, put our phones and use them as facial capture helmets. So, which, by the way, it's really hard to find facial capture helmets. Everything you see out there is DIY. So as far as DIY goes, we didn't have to do very much. You see all these things with contraptions, things coming out of lots of stuff that people put together. So as far as the DIY project, all we had to do, well, Laurel did all of it, but all she had to do was get these handles and a few screws. And see, I don't know if you can see this well enough, but on the side of the helmet, you can see that there's kind of a cheese plate here with a bunch of 1/4-inch spaces. There's actually another mount here and another mount here. So this is a pretty neat helmet. Yeah, it wasn't really that expensive, I don't think. I don't remember how much it was. But. Okay, so, sheesh. I don't know if you guys remember the untangling of all the cables.
The cables, everything he did to
Well,
make them neat.
all that stuff. Our hope is that by next year, please, if we're still doing cables, instead of filming a series or a movie or a feature, you guys write us, somebody out there, and say it's time to move on. Like this whole motion capture stuff, virtual reality filmmaking did not work out for you guys because
Too many cables.
yeah, we're back on this. You know, is this thing plug into anything?
I don't think so.
Because if it's not, we're just going to roll it out of the way until
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
we can do that. Now, since
Let's take the plastic off it. So
a lot of our followers right now are family, they like to hear a few family things.
Yeah.
School is almost over, which is a big thing. This is
Tomorrow is the last half day, and then it's done for the summer.
last day, yeah. And it was all home, remote school, online school this year. We wanted to protect the kids a bit, and with COVID, and they had the chance to.
Yeah, our school system was great because they
Yeah.
offered both in person and at home.
They did.
And the at home was with live teachers, and the teachers made sure there was both lots of instruction.
It wasn't like
lots of
last
time to
year
help.
when they had online.
Nobody knew what they're doing, you know?
It was, yeah, I mean, it was funny because at first they thought they were just going to be a week off school and maybe 2 weeks. And then when they closed schools for the remainder of the year, they were trying to do their best, but basically it was just the kids would log in and it was all what they call asynchronous, right? Like they would just get some assignments written and they would have to do it on their own and then turn them in. And Laurel's job has always been like the goalie, like a kid says that they're done, and she sends them back out there because they don't have the stuff done. So they always say they're done, and they're not done. It's kind of like programmers. Sad to say. But so this year was completely different. They rewrote the curriculum so that it was all, the teachers were there. It was like regular class. They had their schedule. They had to log in at certain times. And it was all live type classes with Zoom. They had homeworks. Now, they still gave them a little bit of a break on Wednesdays because every other Wednesdays they had an asynchronous day, so they were able to finish early and do their stuff.
Depending on the kid.
Depending on the kid.
But yeah, it gave, what it did, because the school year also started, I can't remember if it was a week or 2 weeks late. I think it was 2 weeks late.
Is this?
They had a lot of the, teachers have to have all those in-service days where they keep up with their learning. And so they were able to fit a lot of that on these asynchronous days where every other Wednesday
This is going to be hard.
the teachers had to take classes and the students
Yeah.
didn't have live teachers and had the opportunity to finish a little early or catch up on work if they had missed.
Yeah. So anyway, they are finally
Almost done.
almost done. They have one more half day, and next year we'll have to see. We were able to get 2 of the kids vaccinated. The third one is too young, sadly, so we have to wait for that, and we'll have to see what happens with that. Now, the oldest one had a field day today, so it was the first time because he had to switch schools actually. And it was the first time he went to the school, so he was pretty happy about that. So that's what's happening there. We are getting our plumbing finally fixed on Wednesday, so that should be good to have full working bathrooms and
appliances,
appliances
being able to run
that
the
use
washer
water.
and the
Turns out there's a
dishwasher.
lot of appliances that use water in the house. It's not just the toilets. There's a lot of water needed.
So I've got to say, our electrical bill has been pretty good because we haven't been heating the water.
Oh yeah, sure. That's right. So we have that, and so on that side, things are going pretty well, getting better. We have the plumbing about to get done. School's about to be over. On the business side, well, we're still waiting on almost everything. I think we're going to dig out PN32 and start playing a little bit with that. I've been told that if we can get it set up with 2 different machines, that will be the same scenario that we'll have to do with PN3, at least in the short, for a short time while the software is getting finished. Now, I hope I don't sound negative, or we don't sound negative about Perception Neuron. It really has been
They've been
very good, and the people have been great, great service.
And it's not like we don't know that software can go over schedule.
I build software myself, and yeah, these things happen, right? That's so. If you guys are watching Perception Neuron, we love you guys. I won't do this because it'll make a loud noise on the microphone. But anyway, good. So we're going to dig out Perception Neuron 32, and I think we're going to try to do some videos to do more training than we have been doing. More like polished type videos, more than just us talking and stuff. Even though I know you all love us talking. But I want to do a thing where we do Perception Neuron 32, PN32s, their version 2, and just go through a lot of things that we went through, like doing handshakes, doing high fives, walking to certain spots. Just so that everybody knows the limitations of PN32, so that when we get...
As well as what it does well.
Yeah, as well as what it does well, because, it's funny when I had mentioned the Vive trackers and the limitations with the Vive trackers, and we, this weekend, in testing the plugin for Unreal Engine 5, I dug out some of our recorded things with PN32, because that's one way that you can test it, by looping something you already recorded. That makes it seem like it's a live thing. And I was just thinking, that's pretty good. I mean, don't take me wrong, the stuff we were getting from PN32 is actually pretty good. There was like some cleanup to do. A lot of times, like if Laura and I walked around, like I said, and we were trying to meet at a certain spot, well, the problem is that sometimes the software didn't know exactly when you made contact with the floor, whether that's due to magnetism
or did us dragging our feet instead of cleanly picking up and putting them down.
Yeah, or just error from the software that it accumulates or what have you. You have to go through at the end and clean it up. And basically what that means is anytime that there was contact, whether it was contact with your feet or I think the pelvis area or the hands, there's ways to tell it, because this is a contact-based system, that this contact happened and that then it was released. And once you do that cleanup, then it starts to look a lot better. Mm-hmm. So we are going to see what... Now, the other drawback with PN32 was that, and that's partly because I feel old, putting the straps on is not the easiest thing to do.
Yes, partially we're old, but partially also we're old. We've come here at night after working a whole day.
We're tired, and honestly, you sit down and you look at all the straps and you go, oh, geez, do I really... have 20 minutes to put on this whole thing before I have to, you know, do another 20 minutes taking it off and putting it all
And
away.
it doesn't really take 20 minutes, but it feels like it's 20 minutes.
It does kind of feel like it. So Perception Neuron 3, when we saw that, we thought, yeah, this is cool because we want it like Perception Neuron PN32, but all wireless. Now, if you look at their studio, I think if you look at their website, everything, they're still saying their studio product is better than what you get with PN3. However, it's a lot more expensive. We're talking $6,000 instead of introductory price of $2,000. Now, I will warn you that there was only 7 days left a few days back for that introductory price. It was going to go up to $2,400 or something like that.
So by the time you see this, very likely the introductory price is gone.
Yeah, but we're talking $2,000 versus $6,000, and then an additional $1,400 for the gloves as opposed to $600 for the PN3. So that other one, the studio, is out of our price range.
Yeah.
Now, they had another system called the Pro, but they stopped doing software
They never got the
they never got the gloves working. It was better than PN32. Now it almost seems like this PN3 is above the Pro, but I don't know for sure. You'd have to ask Perception Neuron, but it just sort of seemed like it was better than the Pro, and still very affordable. It's their cheapest one.
And because it's new, you don't have to worry about
all wireless, which is going to save us a ton of time. Just because you can put it on quickly and do stuff. She's laughing at me, but it's because I always got tangled on this stuff.
No, I'm laughing because that is why the Vive trackers were very uncomfortable to wear for long because they were big, and you had to almost tourniquet yourself to keep them still.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem with the Vive because
it was much faster to get on because they weren't all wired together.
Yes.
So this hopefully will be the best of both worlds.
This will be
small
the best
trackers,
of both worlds, hopefully.
no wires.
So yeah, there's that.
Do you want to turn off the overhead light and turn on our lights?
You know, I think we're going to cut this one short. Okay. I think we've made a lot of progress.
We have a floor.
We have the floor. We'll have to do something with the cables. But before we do that, actually, let me, I don't know, is there anything else we can move while we're doing stuff? I wanted to tell them a little bit about Xsens too, because we did some research.
Do you want that back in its corner?
For Xsens.
Or do you want me to bring in the posters? We can just line them up on the wall?
Oh yeah, why don't you do that maybe?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. So Laurel's going to go get the posters. Anyway, so we did some research on Xsens. We just wanted to see, if we couldn't get PN3, what were our options? And I know there's Rococo, but we haven't really looked carefully at Rococo because we've heard mixed reviews. But Xsens is supposed to be top of the line. Now, here's the thing. If we get the introductory starter kits, they are priced, I think, at $3,700. Don't quote me on this. This is just what I'm sort of remembering. But if you want to get the software that lets you do the streaming of multiple characters, we're talking $9,250 a year for the license for that software. So essentially, it's like we're buying 2.5 suits or 3, I don't know the math exactly, every year just to be able to run the software. They've introduced something called their cloud version of the software. And I think if you buy the suits by themselves, you're able to process the recorded files up to 30 seconds a month for free. 30 seconds a month, I don't know what anybody can do with just 30 seconds a month. The next step up, I think they were saying for the cloud version, You get 30 minutes a month, but it was something like $275 a month just to be able to run the software. Now, Xsens may be the best software in the world, and maybe you turn it on and it, you know, it basically does the motion capture for you or something like that. But it's definitely out of our price range. And then if we wanted to have the gloves, the Manus Gloves, I think they were talking close to $6,000 per pair of gloves. And now that's only a one-time fee, but you know, you're talking, I think it was $12,000 just for the gloves for both of us. So if you think about the fact that we were able to get Perception Neuron 3 for less than $6,000, 2 suits with gloves, with software, and the software is free and is a perpetual license. You can't beat that. So yes, we're expecting some cleanup the same way that we had to do with PN32, but come on, that was actually not bad at all. There's people actually doing stuff with PN32. So we're gonna dig it out again and just start doing stuff as soon as we can get everything under control here, because every week there's some new obstacle. And you know, we wanted to do these things for 2 reasons. One, we always forget, once we get a project done, all that we had to go through in order to do the project. So we're hoping that this is sort of like a diary of what's going on, what happened as we were trying to do our VR filmmaking. But also, I'm hoping that people realize that, you know, a lot of times you hear these success stories, and I'm not saying we're going to be millionaires or whatever, but any amount of success. And it just seems like they just sort of woke up one day and decided that they were going to make a movie, and they made the movie, and it made a lot of money, and blah, blah, blah. And that was just the easiest thing and most natural thing to do. So we wanted to film these things. This is making me smile already. Mm-hmm. We wanted to do these type of videos so that people would know there's a lot, there is stuff on the studio that you have to figure out. And when there's only 2 of you, there's like technology to figure out, there's software to figure out, budget to figure out, and you are dealing with life at the same time. And there are tons of things that happen in life that drain your creativity and drain all this stuff, and this is so cool. I'm ranting a lot. Okay, on the middle we have iFilmFlops.
And that was our very first movie production company, and it's the one that we're going forward with now.
Yes, it's been hard deciding on a name because, you know, because sometimes when you say iFilmFlops, it's got the
he gets embarrassed.
Well, because it means like you make bad movies, essentially. But it's because it's all based on the world of Flopsville, where they do make, monsters make bad movies.
But it's not the special effects that are bad, because the monsters are real.
The monsters are real. So, but it's just that the storylines are terrible. So iFilmFlops is from us filming about the Flopsville world. And this was the very first logo that was made, that we hired somebody to make. And we thought it turned out really cool, and we made some T-shirts, and this is the first poster. Let's see, in order of things that happened, Talk to the Hand of Flopsville. This was based on a short movie and a comic book that we then did afterwards, which leads us to this poster. I don't know if you can see that one over here. This is the front cover of our comic book. And this was great. Meescha Dare was the artist. And that was another story, how we met with Meescha. But she was awesome to work with, and I hope we can work with her again. And
Cory Thoman did these, and he also is great to work with. Yes,
Cory does also great stuff. And here is our latest, Bacon Wrapped Avocado. He's sort of in the world of Flopsville. He's got a backstory too that we'll tell you at some point. But this was supposed to be our company name for the motion capture in the VR venture. And the way we came up with it is that, you know, we love avocados, and you know, I love avocados. Laurel loves bacon, and there it is, bacon wrapped avocado.
And he's supposed to look like a little friendly mummy.
Yeah. Who doesn't like bacon? Well, maybe people who don't like bacon, they like avocados, and vice versa. So we just thought it was a funny name. So bacon wrapped avocado, iFilmFlops. Talk to the Hand of Flopsville, and Flopsville Theater episode, or part 1, which was our comic book.
Yep.
So anyway, let's close on that. Next time we'll hang that stuff up. We'll figure out if everything is working. But at least this is starting to look like the studio again.
Yes.
So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode. All right.